Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NRL Supercoach Off the Bench podcast. You're with the Beast, and I'm joined today by Roscoe. We're going to have a live look at the team list Tuesday as it drops. We're doing this blind, as occasionally we do. Not blind as in we're not off our nut. We're just going to have a look at it without having run our eye over it. Although it was leaked earlier today, apparently, but we both missed that because we had things to do and lives to live. So we're going to have a look at it first up straight away. Thank you very much to everybody's well wishes during the week too. As quite a few people know, I was a bit ill during the week and I didn't get to last Sunday's podcast, but slowly getting back to normal off the deathbed, stopped coughing up a lung or two, and away we go. All right, so while Roscoe is getting set up, he's been on the road and he's got some electricity issues where he is, so he might be popping in and out, but that's okay. You there, Roscoe, or not?
It might be the last of my issues, mate. I'm absolutely exhausted. You tell me that we're doing this blind. I feel like I'm a bit blind at the moment after driving 6 hours at about 4:30 this morning. So yeah.
But all right,
yeah.
Do you want to read us through the first one, if you like? You want to get us going on that one?
Absolutely. First game Thursday night is the Dolphins against the Panthers. Tom Gilbert's back from suspension. In the second row, Plath Lock, Felice Kafusi to prop, and Mark Nichols to the bench. Ray Stone's out suspended for his careless high tackle. For the Panthers, big in for them. Dylan Edwards is back after his groin injury. Scott Sorensen is back from concussion. Mitch Kenny's out with an injury. Jack Cole is out with head knocks. Blaise Delaney comes in at 5'8". Luke Summerton is the hooker. Isaiah Papali'i and Luke Garner moved to the bench. Now, I was pretty sure I read somewhere in our physio posted Luke Garner was out 4 to 6 weeks, Brad.
Yeah, it's quite. I think there could be a few moving pieces in this team before Thursday. It's Papali'i back to the interchange bench is interesting in a way. That certainly leaves them a fair bit of flexibility there. Scott Sorensen, I don't know if anybody saw my post up earlier that I did run my eye over the Dolphins and where they're leaking some points.
Yeah.
Certainly edge back rowers look like a nice leakage point for them there. So Scotty Sorensen, he can sneak on a try or two. I think didn't he get a massive 180 points in one game once with 3 tries?
I think he did. I can't remember who it was against, but yeah. I think everyone has to realise that you can't write Penrith off, Brad. I think a lot of people have gone, they've lost 4 in a row. Well, they've also won 4 premierships in a row. Now, they get a key playmaker back into this team in Dylan Edwards. Yes, they do miss Fisher Harris. Yes, they do miss Luai. But I have a feeling that they're going to rack a massive score up here against the Finns. And I reckon if you don't have Nathan Cleary, you want to get Nathan Cleary because I reckon he's going anywhere from 100 to 150 this game.
At some point, you would think that it's going to happen. Until last week, the Dolphins did not look that crash hot.
Yeah.
But this is probably the best team, mind you, that they've put on the paddock.
Yeah.
Tom Gilbert, I'm still not really wrapped in. And Funawaki, well, he's probably got one of the worst PPMs running around, I think, at the moment. He hasn't exactly, I think most owners jumped off him as fast as they could. Not a bad bench from them. Lemaleli on the bench and Nichols, Kurt Donahue, Josh Kerr. That's a pretty strong bench.
Yeah, it's not a bad bench. I mean, you look at but you compare it to the Panthers bench, though, Brad. I mean, Panthers bench is a lot stronger. You got Henry, Papali'i. You've got Schneider as well. Like, it's a solid bench. It really is.
Nah, certainly is.
Yeah.
Teddy on YouTube has just tuned in. G'day, Ted. G'day all our listeners over there and land of the long white cloud or whatever it is. You're just about to sit down to your fish and chops over there. It'll be about fish and chop time. So, enjoy those, bros. All right, we'll get into this team list a little bit further.
Yep.
Anything more to really add on that? There's no real surprises apart from.
No, I don't think so.
Good there.
I will say something though, Brad. I have had a quick look at the most traded in this week. Max Plus highly traded in this week, Brad. I don't like it. I think he scored 3 tries in 5 games, which has obviously inflated his scores. But I do like the fact that he's back to lock, and with no Tom Stone in that team, he should see decent minutes. But I don't think I'd be buying him though.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Are they buying it for the hooker position, which is a bit of a basket case, or are they buying it for the second row?
Well, I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah.
obviously people are jumping off Mamalozu and Starling because they've basically bottomed out now, and they're not going to go up anymore. We've seen the Starling starting to lose minutes as well. So yeah, look, I don't hate it. But,
Jeremy Marshall-King coming off the back of 73 last week is an interesting one. His scores are actually going up every single week, just over 500K. I guess if you're looking for a player that's got a projection going upwards, I think his BE is somewhere around 23. This is only off my memory. I don't know. It's fairly lowish. So, yeah, he's an interesting one for that hooker position as well.
I just think though, Brad, with Plath, right? Like, I think I would much prefer to go who you just mentioned, or even Wade Egan. Like, Wade Egan's killing it this year, and we know he's got issues with HIAs and stuff. But you go and have a look at his scores and what he's priced at. He's way under.
He's just cut out there again, Roscoe. That's all right. Just twist your head to the side.
Yep.
That's it. They've lost. He's had to travel all the way out western New South Wales, and they've got no power or something out there. Someone's turned the gas.
Can you hear me or not? Can you hear me?
What's that? Yeah, I've got you.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I'll quickly run through this St. George team. The St. George team against the Titans looks pretty stock standard. Kyle Flanagan, Lachlan Ilias has still been named. Surprises me that Lachlan Ilias is still hanging in there, but Flano is a bit of a loyalist like that. Toby Couchman, well, we've been talking about him since round 1, and he continues to hold that spot. Very settled back second rowers and middles there. Hamish Stewart and Dylan Egan both being named. Dylan Egan, of course, very popular at 198,000 this week. He's certainly one of the options to jump on. I wouldn't say he's a must-have, but I do have some worries when there's Emre Gula comes in back next week. Someone's going to have to drop out for that. Hamish Stewart has been preferred since the beginning of the year, but have a look at the PPM of Egan. There's a lot to be said for him. Jalen de Groot has been named at number 1, still there at.
Sorry, Brad. Just on Dylan Egan. I was having a chat with Dan from Tragics about him yesterday. So 2 weeks ago, the game that Gula got suspended, they actually had Egan on the bench, and he still played 49 minutes, even with Gula in the team. So I think he may be preferred over Stewart, but who knows what Flanagan's going to do.
That's right. There is if you get him, there's a bit of risk, but I don't think it's a huge risk because you're going to get a price rise. However, the worst that's going to happen is he's going to drop out, and you've got a somebody who's made money just sitting there but not playing, so it's not an AE emergency. So I don't think he's going to be one of these 10-point or 15-point a game AE nightmares. So you're either going to get 40, 50 points out of him, or he's not going to be playing. So I think he's still a pretty solid buy for that reason alone. The Titans back line is basically unchanged there. Potawaka back at number 8. Cleese Haas, he comes into the 11th spot. Of course, this is all changed because of Tino being suspended, which is an absolute outrage. But anyway, Fafita back to the bench again. Wouldn't be surprised to see him start over Cleese Haas. They have typical Desi. He's been doing weird crap like that every single week.
What's going on with that, Brad? Like, why is he not playing 80 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. But it's
just
got to
don't
be.
get it.
Every coach does this to him, so there must be something in David that we don't see that the coaches see, because this is not just a Des thing. This is every single coach that
But
has
he
had
used to
David.
play 80 back in, but he used to had a run of 80s there a while ago.
He had a
You said
run for a short period, but
Yeah.
just every coach has still done this to him. And it's just David Fafita. It's unfortunate because he's the most destructive second rower in the game.
Yeah.
And I will jump on him once I see him start to get some good minutes. Anything else around this one? I think Jalen is a possible buy, but geez, that's a risky one, isn't it?
Yeah, nah, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
There is a couple I want to speak about here, Brad.
Yep.
Sam Verrills. Now, I can't believe I'm throwing his name there as an option for hooker position, but if you go back and have a look at his scores, obviously I can't check because I'm on my phone, but go back and check his scores. He's actually been scoring quite well. He's back in the starting side at hooker. He'll play 80 because Randall's at lock for Tino. So I don't hate him as an option either.
Yep.
And the other one I wanted to speak about too is Clint Gutherson, Brad.
Yeah.
Do you still think is an option? He's got a great couple of games coming up.
Well, yeah, if he keeps hitting 100 every single week, I mean, he just hits hundreds at the moment for fun. If he keeps doing that, then yes, he is an option, and he will hit $1 million in 3 weeks' time. So, is he an option? Yeah. If you think you want to go him, I could not argue. That one out of anybody. Why would you?
He's got Titans and Roosters the next 2 games. I mean, Roosters game might be a bit tougher because they always turn up for these Anzac Day games, but I just think he's still a good option for those who are thinking, maybe he's not the best option. Well, I still think he's a bloody great option, Brad.
Now, Verrills at hooker could be a good upgrade from Mamazula. It's only 463, a BE of 13, which is very nice. Scores so far this year of 62, 54, and 71. So 54, his lowest. If that's your lowest, you're going to go all year at hooker. Well, that's better than just about every other hooker that we've owned, including bloody Harry Grant. But anyway, absolutely nothing wrong with Clint Gutherson. Why would you? You couldn't argue anybody out of it. I don't have him. I wish I did get him a few weeks ago, but I just can't do it at the moment.
Oh, look, I wish I got him last week when I sold Turbo, but when I'm looking forward at this and I bring in Elise Katoa who gets a 95, and you look at his draw coming up and his lowest scores are 77, mate, I'm happy to take that any day of the week, but I'm still looking at Gutho this week, though.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You couldn't, as I said, he's doing hundreds just for fun, so there's no reason. Well, this other team coming up, though, well, that's another matter. The old Reece Walsh and the Broncos taking on the Roosters. Reece Walsh is at the back. Yes, his role does look a bit different there. I think at the moment he's going to chew you out 50 to 70, unless he's not really getting actively involved in those try assist sort of opportunities that just lead you to Supercoach gold. And that's where the difference between him and Gutho is.
His floor is so bad too, Brad. It's horrible, his floor, Reece Walsh. He was on 6 points before Reynolds went off. And we've seen this happen before, where, you got some points for the goal kicking when Reynolds went off and get some junk at the end. But, my God, he's just one of those players that I could never own, Brad. He just doesn't have the upside.
A big shout out. We'll get to this one, your question in a minute. Juzzy has joined us. We haven't heard from Juzzy for a while. There you go, man. A mad convert to the game about 6 years ago. Knew nothing about rugby league, and now he's an effing guru of Supercoach. He's a legend. Good on you, Juzz. Glad to see you. Penrith, man. Mad Penrith. So, yes, we will get to that little question very, very shortly. A few other questions there, boys. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We will get to those questions when it becomes sort of relevant to the games. Yeah, there's nothing really. I mean, Jack Kozeski, he has to retain his spot because Piakura is out for a couple of weeks. Unbelievable. This bloke is so bad. Like his error rate is just massive. Defense is awful. Yeah, they must be really struggling for forwards.
I watched the highlights of the game because I was out on Saturday night, right? He cost Tigers 2 tries in his defence. Like, he's so bad that they just mustn't have any other options. I mean, obviously, Jaden Hunt comes into the side because Piakura is suspended. And then you've got, who else is suspended? Ricky's suspended.
Yeah.
Like, surely they've got someone in bloody Queensland Cup that they can bring in, Brad, that's got to be better than bloody Jet Ski.
He's
just beyond bad.
He has good energy, which is the sort of thing that I like. So he's very energetic, but with that energy is coming a high level of mistake rate. For the Roosters, Billy Smith retains his spot in the centres. Mark the Alphabet Man is named on the extended bench show. So
I'm going to try and pronounce his last name, Brad, because I mean, at least if Blocker Roach can pronounce it, then surely you can.
I don't believe Blocker Roach must have only done it by accident, or he'd had 20
said it right.
And then he got it right. Anyway, Mark the Alphabet Man, he's going to. My personal prediction, and the strong rumours were Dominic Young to get dropped, Mark the Alphabet Man to take his place on the wing. Wow, that's an awful lot of money from your team you're going to drop, though. But his defensive reads have not been flash of late. Very, very interesting. The big news, of course, Chad Townsend dropped completely out of the team, and Hugo Sabula to make his debut. We might have a new cheapie arising at the Roosters for halfback. That might.
Hey, Brad, just on him.
Yeah.
Mate, how the hell does a bloke who has not played one game of first grade yet get given dual position in the halves when he hasn't played a game? Who cares if he's been named there this week? What happens if he plays one game and gets dropped?
What's his other position other than halfback?
I think it's second row or something,
Ooh, that might be nice. Yeah. Well, I bet you Sangster's got him in already.
I'm not saying anything. There was a lot of people who were complaining about it. Believe me.
Timmy's just quickly joined us. G'day, boys. Just watch the P's and Q's. I've got a car full of munchkins. Oh, okay. You're talking to me now, man. Like, God damn. Okay, we'll try. We'll do our best. We try our best here.
He has got the kids in the car. He's on his way back from daycare pickup or something.
Nafu White he keeps on keeping on.
Brad, absolute gold mine, mate. With Lindsay Collins out for 6 weeks, that is absolute gold for owner. Absolute mint.
All right, Dean Annex. Now, Dean arrives. This is Dean's first time. I probably pronounce I pronounce everyone's last name wrong, Dean. So I'm really friggin' sorry. But Dean, I think I might have got that right. Dean Annex. G'day, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. He's tuning in on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
He says that Hugo has already played 3 games in second row. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I understand that, but he still shouldn't get dual in the halves, though, when he hasn't played a game there. You know, realistically, he shouldn't have got the dual until round 12. That's my point.
It's just one of those, Sangster things. It must be, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing much more. As I said, I would be watching out for that Dom Young and Mark Alphabet change there that's possibly going to come our way.
Yeah.
Now this could just about be the game of the round. Sharks.
You want me to go through this one, Brad?
If you wish, you go through it. If you're going,
hopefully my reception's okay. Sharks versus Manly. So Teague Wilton's back on deck after illness. Talakai returns from concussion. Billy Burns drops to the reserve list, and Tapua goes to 18th man. For Manly, Aloi is good to go, or Aioli, after missing round 5 with a shoulder injury. Simply moves back to the bench. Waddell will miss 2 matches for a high tackle. Lachlan Croker is listed amongst the reserves as he closes on return, while Tommy Talau is 18th man. Now, on this game, I would be very surprised if Jason Saab plays too, Brad. Because he went off with that injury, and they reckon it was a seismosis injury. So I don't see him playing.
Yeah, I look. There's two there in the extended bench, which is interesting that they've got two out and out wingers there. Or Tommy Talau can play centre as well. Tommy Talau has been nearing on very close to being returning.
Yeah, he's been coming back from a hamstring injury apparently.
So he's very, very close. And Aaron Shoup has been ready to rock and roll. Did look good in the trials. Shoup is not a bad candidate there as well. So they've got two wingers sitting there ready to go. Saab looked pretty much spasticated last week anyway. Oh, apologies. But anyway, he wasn't the best.
No.
He did not look at his best.
Got a question for you, Brad.
Yeah.
Ruben Garrick. The draw's not great, right? Coming up for Manly. Is Ruben Garrick a sell?
Yeah. Well, my personal opinion is yes, depending upon who you're bringing in, and what other dramas you have in your team. So, he's still going to get you 40 points, right?
Yeah.
So his floor's around about 40. You're going to lose cash, but are you prepared to lose that cash, knowing that this fella plays every single major buy round? Manly play every single major buy round coming up. So Ruben Garrick will not get a rest over that Origin period. He will not go into Origin at all. So potentially you could just hold him, right? Yes, he's not going to drop much below 700. Yeah. So he's going to drop maybe about 100 odd K in the next couple of weeks. And then depending, so is he an urgent sell? No. Is he a sell if you want to get Cleary in and really strengthen up your team, and you don't have to weaken up your centers too much? Then go for it, because you are going to be making yourself over 100 grand sort of profit there. So there's a lot of sense in it, but I would think about it and think about the strength of your team, particularly over that Origin period where he is fully available for everybody.
I don't own him, but it's just that someone asked. I mean, for me, Brad, I think he's a hold for me. I mean, he got 46 last week in a team that got absolutely annihilated, right? He was disallowed a try that he should have got. They reckon he was offside, but I don't think he was. So you wouldn't be having this conversation if you put close to a 70 on his score.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. He's very he's important to that back line. He's got a decent enough floor that yes, he's going to lose money this week, but as the year goes on, you've got to be prepared to lose a little bit in some of these elite players, save a trade, and work out where your other deficiencies in your team are.
Yeah.
See, a good example is my team this week. I have Garrick, but also have Dewey.
Yeah.
Now I can move Dewey out of my 5/8 position.
Yeah.
Sell Garrick, move Dewey out, and move Jaden Campbell up into my 5/8, and keep Dewey instead of Garrick.
Yeah.
But do I do that for the money, or do I just piss Dewey off?
Yeah.
Dewey's getting no ball his side of the field. He's getting nothing. He's barely getting a run a game.
I don't think it helped when he got moved to 5/8 early in the game when Fainu, got injured 5 minutes into the game. So obviously that didn't help. But other thing just on this game too quickly, Brad, is that I cannot believe that they haven't done anything about position changes in those halves. I would not want to be a Nico owner for this game. I just don't. I don't like it at all, Brad.
Well, I'm a Nico owner and I'm sticking.
No, I know that you are, but I just thought maybe they might, bring Atkinson in and get rid of Trindle or something. But the other thing to note too, the Sharks too, is that they don't have another home game now until around 11.
All right, I'm just having a look here. Bigger Stickers has joined us on YouTube. G'day, Bigger Stickers. Tim, I'm not swearing. It's his name, mate. It's his name. Promise you, boys, I'm being polite.
Nah, New South Wales Cup has nothing to do with your positions.
So biggest is what if they played both positions in New South Wales Cup?
Makes no difference. No.
Just having a minor.
That's right.
Attack. Excuse me. All right, and then he also says he's impressed with your knowledge of the game, boys. Thanks, Biggest. Juzzy is just telling us to watch our P's and Q's language, boys.
Oh my God! Coming from the boys that used to do 360. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I've seen what you used to get up to on here, mate.
Oh boy, Juzzy, we saw it all on yours, mate. Oh gosh.
Dewey. Why Dewey? Duddy. Yeah, 100% right. Duddy. Yeah. Got that right. And Chuzzy says he's a duddy.
Yes.
So we'll get to him. So that's the Garrick issue. So it depends where the weaknesses are in your team, and you've got to assess that now. So it's not all about making your money. Mind you, the team that's coming 11th overall, he's got $14.6 million in the bank of the team value. That's a holy hell.
Holy hell, Bell.
So
he must have literally got all those. He must have got all those cheapies to start with. He must have made some serious trading early to, as well. Wow, that's fair effort. Yeah, right.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah,
that's
amazing.
But I actually think this is going to be a high-scoring game, the Manly game. But Manly, mind you, are pretty defensive at times, but could be. Yeah. All right, this is Biggest Dickus's favourite team coming up. All right, South End Cowboys. We've got Latrell at number 6. There he is. He's into the halves. He's a definite stay away from.
Yeah.
So do not jump.
He was last week in the centres too for me.
Ewan Aiken makes his appearance now at number 3 in the centres. So Big Bennett must have some faith in him being able to plug a hole in the centres. I reckon that looks good for Jackson Purdue on the other side, to tell you the honest truth. Having an attacking centre up against he's a very good player, Ewan Aiken, don't get me wrong, and he's going to be trying to be defensive. But that's not a bad matchup there to be considering.
I reckon if you've got Purdue, you have to play him this week for this matchup. This is a great matchup for him, I reckon.
There certainly is, some certain attraction there. The forwards are just pretty much stock standard. Sean Cappy comes back into the number 8 position. Lockie Hubner secures his spot at number 13. He's a hold for at least another 3 weeks. He is going to make up to 500,000 to 600,000. Bennett will be playing him for 70 minutes a week. Absolutely no doubt in it. Let's see if anybody's Biggest Diggers reckons I should be rubbing some Vicks down in her more. How do you know I've got a hairy chest? You.
Oh, jeez.
And Biggest also says that Latrell will kill it at number 6. You can't
tell. He's also good at throwing 3-meter forward passes to win games too.
John Bateman somehow continues to get his position at number 11 in that team. Mind you, that's just because of desperation. They've got nobody really to go to there. Although Carl Lawton is being named in reserves, he's a very decent, can play edge, can play middle. So he's one to keep an eye on that might make an appearance too at some point in time. Anything else on that game?
No, nothing for me, mate. That's it.
Yeah. Who got named on the wings there? We've got Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson's been named. Okay.
Yeah, AJ's back. Yeah, he was close to coming back last week as well. So, yeah.
All right, you want to do this one or me?
Yeah, no worries at all, mate. No dramas. We'll go to the next game, which is Eels versus the Raiders up in Darwin. For the Eels, Zach Lomax has been named on the wings. Sean Russell into the centres. Riley Smith will start at hooker. Charlie Goomer goes back to the bench. Ryan Madison and Brayley Simonson are named amongst the reserves. And while for the Raiders, there is no changes to their team. I really like Zach Lomax, Brad.
He's still got a pretty high BE there. He's yep.
I just like him on the wing better. He's going to get a lot more runs, and he's going to get a lot more points than what he will in the centers. But I mean, it's just someone to keep your eye on. I think I want him to lose some cash first, but he's definitely one that I'm looking at because obviously some of these cows are going to bloody cow out soon. So someone like him will be a good upgrade option, I reckon.
100%, like 100%. He's BE's only 103, so when you go only, well,
yeah,
you know, what's he going to lose? 20 or 30 grand, maybe, and then he'd be back into that. As long as he's averaging around 70, he's not going to lose or gain much money. You know, so I think he's priced very close to his. So if you'd really like him on the wing, Roscoe's 100% right. He's going to score a lot more.
Yeah,
a lot more running meters, Supercoach Gold. A lot more tackle bust because you're doing the running meters, Supercoach Gold again. Centre can be very limiting for these things at times. There are a couple of good centres running around that do get through tackle bust.
Yeah.
But Zach Lomax will get a lot more on the wing than what he does suck away in the centres. Now, Riley Smith has been named at number 9 again with Jermaine Hopgood.
That happens. Yeah.
So let's hope and pray for Jermaine Hopgood owners. Would you be selling? I mean, he's dropped that much money. I don't know whether he is a sell anymore.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what his break even is and who you're going to sell him to, really, as well, Brad. If you can get him up to a premium, by all means. But I wouldn't be selling him to downgrade him, though.
I tell you what, a lot of people are very, very critical of Jason Riles in this one, not understanding why on earth you would play other players in this team for 80 minutes or very high minutes, and you wouldn't play Jermaine Hopgood in his preferred position where you know that he can play 80 minutes, you know that he's a gun, you know that he can get you 70 tackles a game if you wish him to. Why wouldn't you play to his strengths? It just doesn't make any sense to be fucking stuffing him around like you are. So,
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's still, you know, tinkering with these selections or not, but I don't know, Brad. I didn't see much of this game, but then I just saw that there were some late changes, and then saw Charlie Goomer had come in, and I'm just like, oh. And then when you said Hopgood was playing bloody hooker, I'm just like, oh god, like that is so bad for owners. Like, what did he get? He only got 35, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, look, if you can upgrade him, Brad, to a gun, I would sell, but I wouldn't be looking to downgrade. You just want to hope that bloody Rolls wakes up to himself, really.
Indeed.
But having Dylan Walker on that bench doesn't help either, Brad.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too. You know, yeah. Look, I don't know. You own him, so you know. I don't know. It's a hard one. It's very much a hard one.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not certain yet. I mean, I could just go straight swap to Katuga for him, and I might do that on the day, depending upon what team I see.
Well, you could go that, or you could go to Thomas Kahn, who's cheaper as well.
Yeah.
Or you could even go to Dylan Egan if you can use that cash to, you know, make 2 massive plays, then that's probably worth it too.
Yeah, we'll get to Kahn in a minute. Matty
Nicholson, you could look at Hudson Young's another option in this game too, I reckon, Brad. And Joe Tarpany too. He's put out 290 scores in a row, Tarpany, since he returned.
Yeah. Hudson Young is part of the new elite of second rowers that are coming on the. We've had a really changing of the guard in the second row as far as what elite is concerned.
Yeah.
And some of those who were just behind the elite are actually stepping up. Hudson Young is one. Eli Katoa is another.
Yeah.
So with some of our guns of our elites, like our Angus Crichtons, our Cam Murrays, etc., they're all slipping down the beanpole, and these newer fellas are really, they're the elites where we sort of
and realistically, Brad, the way that the centre wing position's going this year, it's been mud. It really has. I mean, you look at some of the players in those positions, really, other than Kale Hero and Garrick, who's highest, who's averaging the highest of the CTWs, obviously inflated by his 156. Realistically, it's a mud position. Front row, second row, your fullbacks and your halves are the way to go at the moment.
All right. Anything more on that that game there? Or
no, that's it. That's it for me. I don't have anything else.
Excuse me, fellas. Sorry, that lurgy just still lingering. The Storm and the Warriors, quite an interesting game here. We've got a question there. I'll let you read through that one while I'm just going over the team from Dean Annette. So Melbourne look pretty much the same. Moses Leo continues to experience some NRL time there in the centres at Melbourne. It all looks very stock standard. Don't forget, this is the first time we've looked at these teams. So the Warriors coming off a rest, coming back from a bye last week. Very steady in the back line. The forwards, that looks very nice, doesn't it? Indeed, the Warriors. I'm expecting actually not a bad game here, but Melbourne at home, super hard. You'd be loving to own any of these Melbourne players. But Melbourne is so defensive at home that, these poor old Warriors might get tackled to death. I don't know. What do you reckon here?
Yeah, I think the Storm will be too good. In saying that, though, the Warriors always turn up. If you want to go and have a look at the stats, go back and have a look at it. I don't remember what it was, but the Warriors have a very good record against the Storm, and it's not just in New Zealand; it's also in Melbourne too. I just realised too, Brad, that this has always been an Anzac Day weekend, but it's not this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Storm really turned up for that game against Manly, and Jerome Hughes, what a difference he makes to that team, Brad. I love watching him play, taking the line on, just so dangerous. Like, I think the forward packs are very on par, except for probably Katoa against Nakore, but the rest of them are pretty much very even as well. Even the hooker position is even up as well. In answer to Dean's question, Moses Leo, I do not like Brad. He had some very, very bad defensive reads in this game. He absolutely got tore apart by I think it was Cooler in this game, Brad.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that how far away is Nick Meaney, because he's got to come back into that team too. So I don't really like it. Is William Warbrick named? See, William Warbrick could come back into that team too. I know he's not named this week, but I wouldn't imagine too far away. So do I like the buy? No, I don't like it at all. It's not a good buy.
I don't. I'll agree with Roscoe in one way there, Dean, that you've got another week. I mean, if he kills it this week, then you can bring him in. Yeah. I just think you're wasting a trade by getting him too early. Yeah. And Arthur's, yes, he's PE starting to get up there, but he's not really going to drop much money, right? His money's pretty secure there, and he doesn't have a bad matchup. So I don't. Yeah, I probably would wait.
Arthur's is at like 500K. You should be able to get a decent centre wing for that price. Really?
Absolutely you can. But
there'll be someone there that you can jump on.
I'll just make mention, if people are wondering why the Storm are so highly regarded at the moment to possibly take out the competition, I think they've got to be near close. So the reason is, have a look at this bench. Joe Chan, that guy's a starter in just about any other team in the NRL. Kane Bradley, again, another one that could possibly start at any other team in the NRL. Faya Logo. These are all blokes on the reserve bench, for Christ's sake. Faya Logo definitely would be starting at any other team in the NRL. That's just insane that they're all just sitting there ready to rock and roll. So,
and then you look at the bench and you've got guys like Tyrone Wishart that get a start in any team too. You know what I mean? I think with Faya Logo, I'm pretty sure he's coming back from injury too, Brad. because he got injured in one of the trials.
Yeah, so is Joe. I mean, they're all sort of on an injury
Yeah.
comeback, but very typical of bellyache. He's going to give a player a go for a few games, get him some first grade experience while he gets the others ready, and it's just very clever in the way he really does that.
Yeah.
And Dean reckons he's getting in early. Yes, Dean, I love your input, but I'm just not sure on this one. But I'm willing to be proven wrong. Love to be proven wrong, by the way.
We
you want
like
to go through Knights and the Tigers. Here we go. Game of the round. You're going to lead off?
So. Yeah. So Jack Hogg is out with a finger injury. Schiller's out with a head knock. Jacob Safidi calf. Also, Crossland moves from hooker to halfback. Jaden Brayley starts at number 9. Colin McCarthy comes onto the wing for his second NRL game. And Brodie Jones joined the pack. KPP returns from suspension. And Tyrone Thompson makes his NRL debut off the bench for the Tigers. Luai's back. Jarrell Skelton is also back. Samuel Afenu is also back. Leitu Fainu the thumb injury. Jack Bird goes back to the bench, and Saka something. 18th man, and the other one drops to the reserves. Brent Naden is listed amongst the reserves who returns from a knee injury, so he won't be far away by the looks. What do you reckon with this one, Brad?
G'day, by the way. G'day, Watto. Watto's just tuning in a little while ago. He says up the Tigers probably.
Go the Tigers.
Be at the game on the weekend. Yes, he lives up in Newcastle way. Watto, mates, give us a shout out at the game. Let us know how it's going, and it should be a cracking game. Actually, I reckon. Yeah. Good weather predicted.
Yeah.
I like both teams. I think both teams are getting close to a cracker. The Tigers have nearly got their best team just about out there. I like the Tigers team. The only thing I don't like is Royce Hunt. I don't understand it sometimes, but we all thought he was a bad Supercoach purchase at the beginning of the year. Some people didn't listen to us, Roscoe, and some people went in. We're against, but I went Dewey, so who am I to say? Oh, Jesus, he's just shit. So sorry, kids. Sorry, Timmy. Anyway. Kyle McCarthy on the wing here for the Newcastle. Anybody know much about him? I've got a couple of Newcastle boys that are listening in.
No, nothing, mate. I don't know. Maybe our man Kyle can shed us on some information on this bloke. Being our Knights man.
Well. Yeah, what I might know.
Yeah, what I might know. Look, Schiller's only out 1 week with a head knock, so he'll come straight back into that team. So I don't. Yeah, look, it's probably not an option at all, Brad. To be honest with you, I'm expecting Ponga to bounce back this game in a big way. I mean, they came up against the best defensive team in the comp, and I cannot believe that a Sunday Arvo game in the dry against probably not the best defensive team in the comp, and people are trading out Ponga. He's in the top 10 traded out, Brad. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I don't get people trading out Ponga. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People are trading out.
I don't get it. I'm with you. No. I look, these players, when it comes to elite players, you pick them because you believe in them. 2 or 3 bad weeks means jack. And you don't trade an elite player unless they have a part of their private anatomy that's been ruptured, and you think, God, I've got to get this player out of my team. So don't. He's elite. Don't trade him out. Man, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, he's dropped a little bit of cash, but he'll be back. It's Supercoach. That's what happens. You got to a bit like our stock market. Have a look at that at the moment. Christ. But don't panic. It'll be back, boys. It'll be back. And so we'll we were a lot of rumours surrounding KPP at the moment. It's second row at the Newcastle number 1. He's trying to shop himself around to other clubs apparently for around $600,000 to $700,000 a year. So it seems like he's not hugely. He's thinking he's worth more money, or he wants out.
I'm hearing he wants to go to Canberra to link up with some of the pommies down there.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind him at the Tigers. I'd take him, but not for 600K though. He's not worth that. There's no way.
Well, that's what's. But these
Yeah.
are only speculative rumours. Thomas Cant really impresses me. I love his effort. I love his workload.
Yeah, good. Good.
Very consistent PPM so far. Yeah, I love him. I think he's going great. He will make you 100K this week. So if you jump on him, you've got 100K price rise. Will he go back to the bench the following week? Yes, you would think so. Who would he go in for? Probably Tyrone Thompson. There's a couple of so interchange forwards there. So
I don't know, Brad. I reckon he holds the spot. I reckon so. I think Dylan Lucas is not back till round 9, Brad. So he's gonna he's gonna hold that spot for at least another 3 weeks minimum. And then I reckon when Dylan Lucas comes back, I reckon they put KPP back to the bench. Frizzell will play lock.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Adam O'Brien's going to do. And that's why I put in the article that, about the pros and cons between him and Katoga or whatever his name is as well. So there's enough cash there to be made. Like, even if Lucas comes back and he goes back to the bench, you're going to get 3 price rises out of him. So realistically, you should be fine.
All right. That's our team list done there. But now we've got a few questions to go through, so just bear with me. Right. This is a bit away from football, I guess, but it's an interesting one. Teddy, he wants to know the Masters winner outright, top 3, please.
No idea. Teddy, I know about as much golf as golf as what I do with Supercoach, mate. You don't want me giving you tips on golf. I've got no idea, mate. Honestly, no clue.
I'll give you one tip. I'll give you 2 tips. I do like Wing Lu Wei. Did a P behind.
Didn't he just win his first major?
No, not a major. Just
he won his first tournament. Yeah.
But there is a betting proprietor. I can't tell you who because that would be advertising, and we're not here to advertise betting services. However, there is a very popular one that is offering $15 for any Australian to win the tournament outright. And there are some red hot Australians from Cam Smith to Wing Lu Wei. There's a few others there, all within the market. $15. I reckon that's the bet. That's the bet that. Shoot me a message, Teddy, and I'll tell you who is offering that one. Because I reckon that's a pretty good shout out, that one.
Yeah.
He also said, Teddy did, I don't know, I put this one up earlier. He said back in the day, the 360 Caravan was a hot box. Could well have been.
I reckon it was a hot box too. Don't worry about
that. Timmy O'Connor, he's wanting to know our best 3-2-1, the best cheapies of the week. I'll go quickly because I reckon I'd have to go Can't because he's going to make you 100 grand. Katuga, number 2, but very close with Egan. I'm just not certain about the Egan security. So very, very close. It's all in about the second rows this week. So if you've got a front row sitting there doing nothing, that's why we've got Tinos and that in our team. You can swap around. I'm sure you can free up a spot by selling some useless spud up in the front row. Bring in one of these blokes. That's definite. Any one of the 3, I don't think you could really go wrong. Some people are on Katuga. I think Big Teddy's on Katuga. He loves him. But I'm on the Cant bandwagon. I really like my eye, what I've seen. And sometimes the eye test in Supercoach, yes, we've got all these fantastic stats and I can have a look at how many offloads and meters and carries. But sometimes the eye test works and I like what I see. So that's more.
Yeah, I think I agree with you pretty much spot on with that one, Brad. But there's only one problem. I just can't do it.
What? Oh,
I can't do it.
Now, Watto, before we heard him joining in, he said, "G'day, legends. Jumped up 11,000 spots after the weekend. could have had a monster score, but I traded out of Zarko or the Gus man at the Titans. He's gone the Gus via Jules. Well, you're actually not having a bad season from what I've seen. So I do hope that the Gus, the group or whatever, is that who we're talking about? Is that who?
I think he's talking about Angus Crichton. I think.
Oh, he's talking about.
I'd say so. Gus is Angus, isn't it? I'm sure it is.
Well, definitely the nickname for Gus is.
It wouldn't
Angus.
be the group. No.
No.
Don't worry, Watto, you're not there alone. Our resident expert Sam also sold him as well this week, so you're not alone, Jared. So don't worry.
All right. What's this question here coming in from the Dickus?
Jeez.
I don't want to know. I'm not going to read that.
You know what? This is not becoming PG rated this anymore.
No, but he did say he's riding the cart, right? So he's on the cart.
That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good.
He's on the. I'm liking the cart.
All aboard,
definitely. Cart and Cleary for me are my two that I'm liking a lot, and that way it really cleans up to my front row forward position, and very happy with how my team's looking, despite the fact I'm ranked about 20,000. But I'm not unhappy. How are you feeling about your team?
You know what, Brad? I'm really happy with my team. Just sometimes just not picking those right reserves, Brad. Captaining Payne Haas this week was not ideal, but I scored 12.38 with Haas as captain, and actually outscored some people who captain Gutho, and I don't even own him. So I am really happy with my team at the moment. And the conundrum that I've got this week, Brad, and you might want to answer this quickly, is who do you think's the better trading this week, Jerome Hughes or Gutho? Storm's got a really good draw coming up, but I just find sometimes with Hughes, he can have a massive game, but it just doesn't show in points.
Yeah, there's no, I don't have any good answer for that one.
I just can't decide which one.
It really is team dependent. If you really need some strength down in your fullback positions, a lot of us are carrying Iongi. He did get 107 last week. Geez, he looks good.
Yeah,
and we're going to have to hold him for another 2 to 3 weeks now anyway. So you really need two gun fullbacks down there.
I've got them, Brad. I've got Teddy and Happy, but I feel like I like the triple barrel fullbacks. That's the thing. And, I reckon Ponga, one of them will probably go to Ponga at some stage once he starts hitting some form. But I really like Hughes as well. He's a massive pod, but I just don't know which way to go.
Is he a massive pod? He's just about the most traded in, isn't he?
Hughes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well, at the moment...
okay. I haven't really looked.
At the moment, over 4,000 people have brought him in.
Oh, God, okay.
So far. So,
he still should be a pod, though, shouldn't he?
I think he's about 5%.
Yeah, that's pod.
So, yeah, he's still in pod sort of territory.
Yeah.
But, is he about 5%? Give me a look. Jerome Hughes. Let me just have a look at how many selections. Yeah, he's about 4% in teams. Yeah, so, but increasing obviously with that amount of already quite a few people jumping on there. I can't tell you wrong or right. You just that's got to be team dependent upon. Say for instance, I wouldn't do it because I've got Nico and I've got Cleary.
Yeah.
So I don't have room for another half. So if that's the direction I've chosen, I then have to concentrate on other areas. It just
felt good. It just felt good when it opened, Brad, to go, oh my God, I can get rid of Tom Duffy, who's doing nothing, and go to Hughes in one trade.
Yeah,
that's how much cash I've got in the bank.
Yeah, but if you're doing that, so is a lot of other people, and so am I. Like a lot of us, this has been one of our most cash-rich seasons that we've had.
Yeah.
Remembering last year how we started with all these cheapies and the failures of the cheapies, including Joey Lussick and all the, oh, Jesus, didn't we bleed some cash early and struggled to try to get some decent players into our team. But this year, and the year, you see, the front row forward last year was an absolute basket case. We had Terrell May, who was good. He was one of our best last year, as he is this year. But everything else just struggled, and we struggled to get any consistency in the front row. This year, I think there's about 8 front rowers all making maximum dollars. You know, I think there's 3 of them or 4 of them on the cusp this week of making over 200K so far this year. You know, that's huge. So it's a year of the front row forward in cash making at the moment. So at what point I see a lot of people starting to get out of Horsburgh. I'm not really certain about that one, you know. He certainly has been quite traded so far. Let me have a look here. No, I'd have to pull up another graph for that one. But I did see
earlier. I
wouldn't
be selling horse. There's no way in the world I'd be selling horse.
I didn't quite understand.
No.
I didn't quite get onto that one. I thought that was quite weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So anything else there? Is that about it?
Yeah, that's it, Brad. Thank you for jumping on and hosting and going live, despite the fact that you're still not 100%. So I appreciate that. And thanks again, Bergs, for jumping on Sunday night too. It was great to have him on. And obviously we'll be back Sunday night with the regular crew. And I'm pretty sure that we've got Dave Campbell coming on as well on Sunday night from the NRL Supercoach podcast. So looking forward to having him on. And there's a couple of others over the next couple of weeks that put their hand up too. So looking forward to it.
It'll be good to have Dave Campbell on again. We had on in the past and from the official NRL show. He's always a great company to have. Big thanks before we go to Wedgetail Golf. Thanks very much, wedgetailgolf.com. Go have a look. Golf merchandise, great supporters. He's helping us out this year. Go have a look at the website, wedgetailgolf.com. Easy as. Thanks, Dan. Great hat, as you see I'm wearing one of his hats now.
Just quickly before we go, Brad, before I forget, don't forget, next week is the last week to join the overall league to win the prizes. So if you have not joined the overall league yet, it's not too late. But next week is the cutoff. So if you're not in by then, you will not be able to win the great prizes.
And there's a few there. There's quite a few prizes. And
more to be confirmed. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, Timmy. Thanks, Biggest Dickers. Thanks, Dean. Dean, g'day. Thank you very much for tuning in for the first time. Love the input, actually, mate. Really good. Juzzy from the Caravan of Courage at 360. Thank you very much for tuning in. There's a few others there that didn't comment, so I won't give you a shout out just at the moment because you might not like it. Your missus might find out you're watching. But thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. Until next Teamless Tuesday or Sunday night. Catch you then.